Hey guys, Captain Taylor here with SaltyScales.com. So I got a couple questions from some novice folks that aren't very familiar with the Baitcaster, and what they're wanting to know is how to set up the Baitcaster or how to utilize the Baitcaster, so that way obviously you're not getting repeated backlashes and things like that. And guys, unfortunately it's a byproduct, or backlashes are just a byproduct of being new to a more complex reel. And it's not that much more complex, but it takes a little bit of getting used to. So I'm going to walk you through some of the fundamental things that you have to learn how to do, and this will help improve your overcasting. So let's go ahead and get to it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh, sorry guys, I got sidetracked. I heard something pop right there. I know, it's terrible. That's why these videos take so long. I get sidetracked all the time. Got to fish. Alright, so first things first, guys, is you're going to want to know the basics of a bait casting reel. So, let me show you. You're going to want to know some of the fundamentals of the bait casting reel. And I mean, it's not too crazy, guys. You have your star drag, and this is how you tighten and loosen the drag. Righty-tighty, left, or counterclockwise is loosening. This is your tension knob right here, guys. This is what's going to allow the spool to get tighter or looser. So, and there should be no back and forth motion, guys. So you should tighten that down to where, you know, it doesn't wobble, so to speak. And that's one of the most important things, but most importantly is this side over here. And this is going to be the mechanical side that prevents the reel from turning too fast or too slow in some instances once you get familiar with casting it. And there's different types, guys. You have magnetic brake controls, and you have centrifugal brake controls. There's pen brake controls. So there's a varied market that produces different types of brakes. And let me show you here. Alright guys, so for example, this Pinnacle Peak, which you've seen in a couple of my videos, this is an old school reel, guys. But this is the centrifugal cast control system. So let me show you here, if I can get it open. Alright, so let me show you here. You just decompress that button and turn it, and it pops right off. And all you do here to adjust it, guys, is on the inside, you just turn this little dial. It's from 0 to 6. 6 being the stiffest and 0 being the loosest setting. So obviously if you're newer, you may want to start up there on the higher end, 6, 5, or 4. Probably more like 5 or 6 if you're brand new. And what that's going to do is it's going to really slow down that reel when you go to make your cast. And as you get more familiar with it, of course, it'll get easier. Now let me show you what the magnetic braking system looks like. Alright guys, so here's the Pinnacle Pro 10. This is an older reel as well, guys. But this has the magnetic control, or the magnetic system on the side here with the dials. And it goes from 0 to 10. And a lot of times, once you get familiar with casting, you know, you usually have it set somewhere in the middle. As you can see, it was set between 5 and 6. That's oftentimes good enough for me if you don't want to really have to worry about thumbing it and just really, you know, make some long distance casting. And for you guys, I would recommend turning the dial to where it's set up a little higher, between 10 and 8. Those are good numbers to start off with and really get familiar with how to do this. So yeah, that's all there is to it, guys. Alright, so back to the Daiwa Tatula Type R. That's what you see here. This is my spinnerbait / crankbait rod and outfit. I'll use that for those purposes. But anyway, guys, so you have your brake system, you have your tension control knob, you have your drag. Here, pressing the button obviously opens the spool or releases the spool, so line can come off the spool. I mean, those are all that you really need to know to get started with your bait caster. So now we're going to go ahead, I'm going to show you how to set it up to where you can make casts without a backlash. Alright guys, so to fine tune you're going to have to fine tune your reel with each lure that you use, because obviously there's weight differences, one being heavier than the other or lighter, you know, vice versa. So what you have to do in order to do that is to adjust the brake system on the left side of the reel and obviously the tension knob. So for example, first things first, I had this set at 16. So on this particular reel, it goes from a 0 to a 20 setting. I had this set on 16, and I've adjusted the tension knob to where the lure, I can free spool this and it'll fall to the ground and it'll hit and it will not backlash. If you can achieve that, then when you cast it, you're not going to backlash. That's just all there is to it. Most of the time, 99% of the time. So let me show you that again up close. All right guys, so here we go. This is what I was just telling you. You go ahead, release the spool, don't touch it. The lure hits the ground, no backlash. If you get that, I mean, obviously it's going to be tighter because, you know, you're newer, you want to cast with those higher settings. You're not going to be able to cast this far with these settings, but you'll have more control. And guys, that's what a Baitcaster is used for. It's used for control. So, I mean, you want to have precision casting, that's why we use Baitcasters. All right guys, so watch, as I cast this, I'm not going to thumb it. I'm just going to cast it and watch the spool. It's that easy. Now let me show you guys something. Now, just so to express the importance of these things, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this dial down to, say, 5. This is going to be 5 of 20. And I'm going to loosen up my tensioner knob. So watch. You start to get bird's nest. Now, even though it was slowed down, there's not a whole lot of velocity because the bait is very light. But watch this. I'm going to do another one without thumbing it with the loose setting. It's probably not going to be pretty. Alright guys, so watch. It bird's nested way before it hit the water, guys. And that's because the reel is spinning super fast. That is the importance. And look, you never want to see that, guys. And you never want to hear it. See how that's going back and forth? Now watch this. Still doing it. No longer doing it. That's what you want. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed today's tips on how to cast a Baitcaster or how to fine tune a Baitcaster. If you enjoyed the video guys, please give a thumbs up and share, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. We always appreciate you guys' comments. It really shows us that you care about what we're doing. So if you have a topic of discussion or you need some help on something, comment below and we'll be happy to oblige and help you. So until next time guys, we'll see you on the water.